Hi, welcome along again to Cleaning Systems. Today we're going to be looking at wand maintenance. Ralph Holah, who's our technical advisor here, will take you through some of the things you should be doing to keep your wands in good operation and to keep them looking good too, for the benefit of your customers and your business.
Hi folks, I'm Ralph Holah. I've been service manager at Cleaning Systems since 2007. Now my role is technical advisor. Today we're going to look at wands and hopefully save you some time and energy and some frustration with providing you with some maintenance techniques. Okay, so we've got a wand here, an older one that's a little bit dirtier, and maybe it's a good idea to keep these things nice and scrubbed and clean. So our customer housewives are not going to be offended by your dirty tools. This the first thing is the vacuum slot. This wand has had the face cut off it with a grinder, so we can see inside the vacuum area. We've got a little protrusion here. We've got some rough welds and a couple of edges here that could easily pick up on lint. So we constantly need to clear these slots out. We've got this little tool here in the workshop where you can use a piece of fencing wire or a knitting needle with a bend on the end, and you can get in and hook around and see if we can get all that stuff, and you can clear all the big trail of lint that tends to hang on to these points and trail down through your wand. This titanium wand has a nice nicely formed vacuum slot. We can get in there easily with our tool, clear that sort of stuff out of there. Going back to this wand head here, this is a good example of this piece of steel here that has fallen off on the inside. Used to be welded to there. In fact, it was part of it. So this one has been, if I can get it closer to the camera maybe, this one has been well worn down this edge, and those two parts have come away from each other. So this has been used on concrete floors for sucking up water, and we'd love to sell you wands every few months because they're worn away in the concrete, but I think we've got some better suggestion for you. Now our suggestions are that we have a range of squeegee heads. These things range from $50 through to maybe $150 depending on the type, but this is a cheaper end of the scale. It's got replaceable rubber lips on it. It's got wheels, and once we place that on the ground, put our vacuum tube on just like a normal carpet cleaning wand, and that can suck up water all day until your heart's content. So they come in a number of different shapes and sizes. This one's a little bit bigger and a bit wider. Get your productivity up. Wheels, replaceable lips, and fully plastic. This is a good example. I used to use these a lot for vinyl floors. A little bit more expensive. Metal body, replaceable lips again, replaceable wheels. This thing will last for years and years. So again, attach it to the tubes on the ground and you'll be about as efficient as you can get sucking up water, and they're sort of steerable as well, so you can go around corners, around the back of toilet bowls. So. Right, wand valves. We have predominantly on wands two different types that we use frequently. This one being the 85L valve, or the Kingston valve, made by Westpac USA. You can see that particular valve has two mounting points on here, nice and solid, no chance of anything moving. The trigger is a part of the valve. The access point here, the axis does wear and the valve will need to be replaced, but yeah, probably the preferred valve. And also PMF now make a valve that's exactly the same. Different shape, internal and external, but the same mounting system and operating system. This one, the JP valve, it's been around for many years. We're trying to transition to the other type valve that's same as the Kingston. So one mounting point you can see here. The other mounting point needs to be contained within a bracket of some sort, so the trigger is separate from the valve, so not ideal, and we'd be far better off with those two fixed points. This one here, you can see this one's badly worn and broken, but the trigger is very floppy. There's not a positive engagement or distance onto the plunger here, so that's never going to work well as far as the valve is concerned. Time to replace just about everything on here and bend the brackets back into the right position. The easy valve mechanisms are essentially the same for both valves. We've got in the kits, we've got our little kit bag here. Some have instructions to help you, some don't. These videos are designed to replace the instructions. This O-ring here can sort of be set aside. It is the O-ring that's underneath the cap nut. Yeah, it's a good idea to replace it, but they don't get subjected to too much wear and tear. Next item in the list is the spring, and these springs break, so we just have to accept that fact and know how to replace them, because it's literally a 30-second job to do so. The spring is responsible for forcing down on the ball bearing and holding that ball bearing into the center hole of our Teflon seat. That stops the water flow. Whoops, no flow. And then this plunger is situated underneath the ball bearing. The small part of the plunger comes up through the Teflon seat and pushes the ball bearing out of the way, allows the water to flow through that center hole. If we take our valve apart, obviously this one's been loosened because I can't undo it with my fingers normally. There's our O-ring underneath, we can replace that. The spring comes next, that's forcing down on top of the ball bearing, and the ball bearing will come out. So now we need to put something down through here and push our plunger out of the valve, and that'll give us the plunger and the seat. You can see that this particular valve's got a little stainless steel plate underneath the Teflon as well. So going back together, we use a silicone grease, an O-ring grease, to lubricate the O-rings. Just a tiny amount on there. Lubricate. Back into the valve, the plunger goes back down in, blunt end first. Now the seat, that can get forced down near the bottom. Now the ball bearing, the spring can go in place. Carefully bring the cap nut in, and that'll line the ball bearing up and the spring. Tighten up your valve and then nip it up with a spanner, and that's essentially a valve mechanism replacement.
Well, there was some great information there from Ralph to help you with your business. Please remember that Cleaning Systems have Ascend training for your basic training in all facets of carpet cleaning, and we also extend to IICRC training to really help you with the professionalism within your business. We're going to put more videos like this up over the coming months. You can subscribe to our channel here, and also there's some links down below where you can click to make contact with us if you'd like any further information on what we've talked about here today or any other matter at all. Thanks very much for watching.